What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit a million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
Denim is in demand at Plato's Closet in West Ashley and North Charleston. Get cash on the spot for everything denim. Bring in your trendy and classic styles of gently used name brand denim. Get paid for your denim shorts, skirts, jackets, jeans, and more. We're looking for denim that is blue, black, or a bold color, and jeans in styles like mom jeans, bootcut, baggy, flared, and ripped. We want everything denim. Sell your denim for cash at Plato's Closet today. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
No intro, no music. We're back. Hashtag Saints Twitter podcast. We just keep having great guests on the show. I didn't think we were going to potentially be able to top our last episode we had with Greg Cosell, and then joining us today, Mr. Baldy Breakdowns himself, Mr. Brian Baldinger from the NFL Network. How you doing, Baldy?
I'm great, Adam. I mean, it's Happy Mother's Day out there, so we had our Zoom Mother's Day little party with the family and all the relatives and everything. So it was good to see Mom. She's doing great, but we're all trying to get back to normal, whenever we can here. So we're all jonesing.
Whatever.
Football is going to be a big part of it. So the schedule came out this week, and that's cool. I mean, but we're getting into this off season here now. We gotta figure this thing out here pretty soon. I can't imagine life without football, man. I've never had it.
It's impossible to think of. It's impossible to think of. I'm not going to even give Baldy's account information on Twitter. You know his information. You know his breakdowns. Is that a Baldy breakdown? What?
Come on, man. Come on. We got to promote, man. I'm down here in South Florida.
Branding. What?
It's branding. Inside. I got to keep the sweat out of my eyes, man.
I love it.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna get right into it. So you're the first guest we've had on who've played the game. I played into a high school level, so I can't even imagine your expertise. A debate that's going on right now is with the release of Larry Warford. There's that gap at right guard.
Yep.
The thinking is do you leave McCoy at center or do you move him to right guard and put Ruiz at center? I don't think people who don't know the game understand that for a year, Drew Brees got comfortable with McCoy at center. And with potentially a shortened training camp, I think it's kind of maybe like a stretch to potentially just think that he's just going to move to right guard and Ruiz is going to come in as a rookie and be center. How difficult? Can you explain to the listeners how difficult that is, that transition, and also quarterback getting familiar with the center, how important that is?
Well, when they drafted Eric McCoy last year, they traded twice to move up to grab Eric McCoy. He started 39 straight games at Texas A&M. And he went in there and he started 17 straight games. And I don't recall. I didn't watch every single snap. I watched a lot of them. I don't remember a bad snap. I mean, that's the first thing. The play starts with the snap. And obviously Drew went from a center that was, very experienced and, had to kind of suddenly retire and all that kind of stuff. And it looked very, very comfortable. And I thought McCoy played great, to be honest with you. I thought he was very, very, very good. I was surprised that the Saints, with their 24th pick, took Ceasar Ruiz. Nothing against Ceasar at all. I mean, I live right down the street from where he grew up in Camden, New Jersey. We all know him, and 3-year starter at Michigan. I thought he was clearly the number one center in the draft. They tell me he has played guard. So my inclination is that, and I haven't talked to Sean or anybody. You know, I know Dan Rauscher, the offensive line coach, real well in New Orleans. He's a great coach. I haven't talked to him about what their plans are. Nick Easton played a lot of guard last year. You know, when Andrews Pete went out, played well. So that's an option, is to put Easton in there. I don't think that they'll move Eric McCoy. I could be completely wrong. Maybe that's what they're thinking was all along. I wouldn't put McCoy at guard. I can't remember Eric McCoy playing guard at Texas A&M. I think he played every game at center, and I might be wrong. My inclination is they would leave McCoy there, try Ruiz at guard, see how it goes. We'll see how much kind of time we have. We may not have any time here, Adam. I mean, we don't know what the offseason is going to be. Like Sean said, we have no offseason in New Orleans. Show up to training camp in the best shape of your life. Point. I mean, he said that during the draft. It kind of caught me off guard. So these guys aren't going to get time together. So you can't really experiment very much. And, you know, so that's not a, you know, something that you can just play around with right now. They don't have time.
Right.
But one thing I'll say, though, Adam, is, you know, if you go back to the playoff loss, you always go back to the loss. The last loss, what happened?
I vividly remember the guards being exposed and the Vikings utilizing the Falcons' game plan against the Saints.
Yeah. So you saw, you know, Danielle Hunter, and you saw Everson Griffin go in against the guards and beat them on some of the biggest plays of the game. They didn't do it a lot. You don't need to do it a lot. We've seen Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram do it to the Baltimore Ravens, and it helped them win a playoff game. It's an adjustment that they'll just out-athlete the guys inside. Mm-hmm. And they caused some major disruption against a great offense. Now, it wasn't the whole reason why the Saints lost.
Right.
But you gotta look at what happened. And so, to me, they're looking to upgrade the interior of the offensive line. And I don't know what combination it's going to be just yet.
Right. So, by the way, hi, Brian. This is Ryan. Huge fan. You know, we love you so much.
Where's your
here.
Picture at, Ryan? Why aren't you on camera? We can't do that.
Well, look, the lighting in here is kind of bad. So,
that's not okay. That's an excuse. You see me. I have my headset. Yeah. The lighting's terrible. Baldy wanted me on bid. I put the bid on for Baldy. No.
All right. Hey, these are questions you got to ask. You know, I mean, you don't get. There you are. All right, Ryan.
Yeah.
Come on, you're cool.
Peer pressure.
There you go.
All right.
But one of the things Saints fans loved about your breakdowns over the years, especially 2017 when we drafted Marshone Lattimore, mm-hmm. and you would do the Baldy breakdowns every week, and that was when Lattimore, he was coming on as a rookie, and he was having some pretty good stretches there. And you were doing such a great job of just highlighting the real nuances of the cornerback play going on. As far as Lattimore, have you seen this is your overall thoughts on him over the past couple of years? Because some Saints fans just kind of worry he starts the season kind of slow, but then there are stretches where he's just having brilliant play. What's your thought? Because the cornerback position is, obviously a very hard position to play. What's just your overall thoughts on Marshone Lattimore?
Well, nobody can get me to say anything bad about Sean. I mean, Marshone Lattimore is, Glenville High School, Cleveland. He was raised the right way. He was taught the game the right way. He wore the deuce at Glenville High School. Only the best players. Not every year they have somebody wearing the deuce. I mean, put the ball in his hands. He knows how to play football. He knows how to tackle the football. He knows how to defend it. Now, he's had injuries, and they can knock anybody down. But when he's healthy, he's an elite player. When I watch him against the elite players, Amari Cooper, when I watch him, against Mike Evans, when I watch him against pure number one wide receivers, I think it brings the very best out of him. I think that's what he loves the most. I mean, he can play zone. He can play off. He can do a lot of different things. I mean, everybody's got to be able to do that. But I think if you said to Marshone right now on this podcast or, in this Zoom conference, like, what do you want? That's what he wants to do. He wants to go against your number one and lock him up. And I think when he's healthy, he can do it just about as good. I mean, I don't know if he's Stephon Gilmore good. I mean, Stephon Gilmore said, he was just off the charts good this year.
Yeah.
But no, he's in that category, Tre'Davious White. I mean, if he's not Stephon, he's right there. And I expect him, if he's healthy, that he'll do the same thing this year. You know, when they sees those receivers with Tom Brady, I mean, can you wait for the first New Orleans and Tampa game to get started? I mean, I can't wait for it.
Fireworks. Fireworks.
So, you know, I don't know what Marshawn's going to do. Is he going to be on Mike Evans? Is he going to be on, you know, Godwin?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's going to be on Mike.
yeah, he wants Evans, man. And Evans is going to push off on him. And Marshawn's going to say, you know what's going, you know, he's going to look at the ref. So, look, I mean, it's on. Game is on. Brady's throwing the ball. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm a Marshone fan, as you can tell. I mean, I love everything about him. And so we've become a little bit of friends over the years. So, but I criticize him. I criticize him, you know, if it's necessary. But when he's healthy, he's an elite player.
I agree.
Also, kind of sticking on with your breakdowns is just kind of your breakdowns of can't guard Mike and what he's brought to the wide receiver position. With the addition of Emmanuel Sanders to the offense, what are ways that you could see Sean Payton, you know, there aren't many games where Mike Thomas gets blanked out, but there's some times where a defense will, you know, a good defense coordinator will have a good scheme where they can limit Michael Thomas. What can Sean Payton do with having a true number two with Emmanuel Sanders finally in the offense?
Do you remember Week 11 against the 49ers? You remember that game? I mean, it was the best regular season game of the year.
Me and Ryan talked about on the last podcast in terms of complete offensive brilliance from Sean Payton and Kyle Shanahan.
Okay, so, you know, they're down 2 or 3 scores, and Sanders goes 75 on a double move. And it gets the 49ers right back in the game in one play. 75 yards, double move, 49ers in the end zone, and they're right back in the game. I mean, that's Emmanuel Sanders. He is an elite route runner. Now, look, Michael Thomas wants 140 catches. Believe me. I mean, he's greedy. He's greedy I'm not saying this in any kind of a, you know, detriment. I mean, he's greedy. He wants the ball. In every situation, he wants the ball. Double teams, third downs, red zone. He wants the ball. No doubt about it. But Emmanuel Sanders is an elite route runner. And he's got subtle moves. He's got to get, you know, Drew Brees has got to get to know him and feel. Now, he had pretty quick timing, you know, with San Francisco this year when he came on board from Denver, which is a good thing. But I thought he got on board pretty quickly. In fact, the first game, like, I thought him and Jimmy G had pretty good timing. So I don't know any quarterback that wouldn't want an elite route runner, because let's face it, if you can't beat man coverage, then you're just not going to be a good player in this league.
Right.
And so that's what you're going to get. You're going to get predominantly some form of man, even if it's cover 1, cover 3, you're going to see almost exclusively man coverage. So if you can't beat it and beat it quickly, so your quarterback knows, you know, he can throw it, then you're going to struggle. And that's what Sanders could do. I mean, he can beat your number 2 corner. He can beat your slot corner. He can, if he goes out wide like he can beat your number 1 corner. So, I mean, I think it's just, you know, they've been playing, and there's no offense to anybody, you know, but they've been playing a bunch of free agent wide receivers. And that's not to knock Traquan. You know, he's had his role.
Speak on it, Baldy. Speak on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to knock anybody, you know. Drew Brees has thrown touchdown passes to nearly 70 different players, and a lot of them have been free agents in New Orleans there. I don't know if any quarterback in the league has thrown as many different touchdown passes to different receivers. But, like, I think they need an upgrade, and I think that's why he's there.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of Saints fans expected to draft a wide receiver in the first round this year, but I think they are kind of fine with what they have there with Emmanuel Sanders. And
I think they went through it with Traquan, you know, and they're like, these guys aren't a slam dunk. I don't care. You know, I mean, there's a lot of great receivers in this draft. Well, you know, I mean, Drew Brees has got 1, maybe 2 years left. You know, I mean, maybe takes the NBC offer. I don't know. But he's going to play this year. Like, just give him a guy that knows how to play right now. And let's ball up, you know, let's go win a tough division, and let's get some more playoff games inside that dome. Let's start winning them, you know, and let's take a shot to get to Tampa, you know, Super Bowl 50, whatever it is, 55, 56. So I mean, I think that was sort of, let's bolster the offensive line. Let's give Drew the better protection. Let's get nasty up front with some guys, and let's go finish this thing out.
That said, so they don't take a receiver at 24, and me and Ryan talked about this. Like the receivers, kind of like that shiny Christmas present that all fans, of football teams want when the draft. But it seems like they are comfortable with adding Sanders, having Taysom Hill's role still be what it is, if not more expanded, as well as they did take Adam Trautman in the third round. I foresee kind of a renaissance of Sean Payton utilizing more 12 personnel, even potentially 13 personnel with Cook, Hill, and Trautman. What do you see that in terms of how that can be, how Sean Payton can use that to dictate things against the defense?
Well, I mean, he's always going to have, he's going to have every package available. He's going to have, the deepest playbook possible. Every game is game specific. And so, like Doug Peterson ran a lot of 13 personnel the year they won the Super Bowl in 2017. It was really, really valuable. I mean, you put run formations out there, you sell run, and you play action pass, and you get a couple tight ends that can run like Trautman or Jared Cook or whoever, along with Michael Thomas or Sanders, whatever combination. And you got AK-41 back there. I mean, you got a lot of options off max protection, play action. I mean, you take your shots. I mean, all that stuff, is in play right now. And, I think you have to factor in what Tommy Stevens is going to be in this offense, because they fought Carolina tooth and nail to get him, and then they drafted him. They weren't not going to come out of this draft without Tommy Stevens. I mean, he's just going to be a valuable chess piece. And I don't know what the packages are that Sean Payton is going to create with him. Nobody knows, but they drafted him for a reason, and he's going to be active, and he's going to be a part of this game plan.
Ooh, that's going to be fascinating. Another player I just wanted to ask you about before we let you get out of here. I don't know how much I know you watch so many players, but Marcus Davenport. I've seen Saints fans, considering what was given up to get up to go draft him. I've seen some Saints fans throw around the word bust. I hate that word. I think that's ridiculous. And if you watch them play, you shouldn't even use that word, in my opinion. But what are your, just in over your breakdowns over the years, what have been your thoughts on Marcus Davenport outside of the whole injury thing?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, he comes from UTSA. I mean, we're talking about a Conference USA program where he was, just a man amongst boys. But, he had, like a lot of guys. I mean, he's got size, incredible strength. Just ask Cam Jordan what he thinks of him. He'll swear by him. But this is the third year. I mean, this is the year where he's got to really show up. He's got to, you get home field advantage inside that dome, that crowd noise. You got to make that pay. And he's got to start beating good tackles in this league. He can't, he just can't run around and use his length and his athletic ability to chase guys down. He's got to beat tackles this year. And so, just in his own division, Donovan Smith is there. All right. At left tackle. They Carolina has brought in a Pro Bowl left tackle. You always start in your division. You've got a very good caliber tackle in Atlanta. So, you got to be good left tackles. And that's where he's at right now. And I could sit here and say injuries, nobody cares. Like, you're in your third year. This is the year that you got to show the Saints, you got to show Saint fans, you got to show the league that you belong. And you were worth, what they traded to get them a couple of number ones. You got to demonstrate that this year. This is a huge year for him. He's played enough football to understand what the game is about. That his talent is right on par. He looks a little stiff, which is not a great thing. But there's different ways that you can win in this league: length, strength, power. There's different ways to win. So he doesn't have the greatest flexibility at his size. You like him to bend a little bit better than he does, but that's all right. He's got to stay low. He's got to play lower, got to get lower, and he's got to work on a counter move right now. And that's what all Saint fans should be looking for from him.
That's you hit it right on the head in terms of Davenport. Saints' favorite over the years has easily become Demario Davis, kind of sticking with the defense. Last 2 seasons, arguably probably the best 3 down linebacker in the league. You can make that argument. The Saints, the 3rd round again, try to get help with Zach Bond. And speaking of pass rush and Davenport, and getting more pass rush, and also maybe someone that can, Davis can have in terms of as a running mate at linebacker. There's the injuries with Anzalone. There's the injuries with Kiko. What did you? I don't know if you had a chance to scout Zach Bond, but what does he bring as a player? And my concern for him is, at Wisconsin, he did a lot of rushing the passer, and the Saints potentially may have a plan where he may be playing middle linebacker or weak. How potentially could that transition go for him?
Well, I mean, you look at the guys that have come out of Wisconsin. I mean, TJ and the guys that have come out of there playing that position. He plays just like them. I mean, he's just got his hair on fire. He played hard as hell. He doesn't hear the whistle. He chases everything. He's got the ability to turn a corner. I can see him in a variety of ways, using him in a variety of ways right now. A lot of teams are blitzing their best pass rushers up the middle right now, and just trying to find crevices and shooting the A gaps and bringing them off the ball. So there's different ways that you can do it. I'm sure they have a package for him week 1, to start the season. So look, he's a 3rd round pick that has real skills. People thought he might go in the 2nd round. That's probably where he was valued. But he's got real versatility to him at good size. So you can't have enough good athletes out there on defense. I mean, you got to be multiple. They moved Cam Jordan around. They moved DeMario around. I mean, I think Zach Bond would be a chess piece for him. Whether he starts, how many plays he plays, remains to be seen. But, it's about getting to this quarterback in the league. And sometimes you got to create it. Sometimes you just need to be as many good athletes on the field as possible. I see, 3rd downs now, or the down you got to win. And so you got to be able to cover. You got to be able to get to the quarterback. You got to be able to tackle in space. I think, the guys that are almost positionless football is kind of where it's going. And to me, Zach Bond kind of fits that bill.
Yeah.
Ryan, did you have another one for Baldy? You don't want to take over too much of
his
time?
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I think, speaking of positionless football, I think as a football fan, without having the all 22, it is almost so impossible to really know what a player like Marcus Williams brings to the defense. I get that their notion of, for Saints fans, there's the Minnesota Miracle, and sometimes he does make plays where he maybe inadvertently hit a Saints teammate that may lead to a bigger play for the opposing team. But as terms of, you get the all 22. You see what Marcus Williams does from the free safety position and being a true free safety. Can you just speak on that a little bit into what he brings to the defense? Because a lot of Saints fans are down on him, or potentially don't think he potentially deserves an extension, which is completely wild to me. And I don't even, have all 22, but just what that position brings to a defense.
Well, first of all, I mean, if you're just watching the television copy of a game, you never see the free safeties. Never in your screen. The only time you ever see them is if there's a big play involved, whether he makes it or he gives it up. That's the only time you ever see them, is if they go to replay. And if they don't go to replay, you never see the free safety the entire day. So you need the all 22 to kind of watch them. So, look, let's face it. Big plays happen against defenses in the league, either because somebody misplays a ball down the field, or somebody misses a tackle that goes for a big play, and it usually falls on the safeties. So, the Saints have been a premier defense the last 2 seasons. He's been a part of it. I'd say the best thing that's going to happen for Marcus Williams this year is Malcolm Jenkins coming back to New Orleans. I mean, he's a coach on the field. He's one of the smartest players I've ever met in my life. He is a great communicator on and off the field. He's a coach on the field. He doesn't miss tackles. In fact, I think the whole secondary will tackle better watching Malcolm Jenkins practice tackling because he works on it, and he's changed his form so that he could stay on the field, stay healthy. I don't know if he's missed a play. I don't know if he's missed one down in Philadelphia since he went there. He's been an elite player. I don't think he's missed one down. And if I say he missed one down, he'll bitch at me about it. What play? What play? I'm a big fan. I think Marcus Williams will probably play his best football when he has a true strong safety, a great in the box safety, a great tackling safety, and a smart player playing with him. Because safeties have to really play together. When to cover for each other, when to take chances. They really have to be in cahoots together. And you can't have one great safety and a safety. They got to play together. Just the way defense or offenses move you around. You've got to be in communication. You got to talk every play. I think that you'll see Marcus Williams with Malcolm Jenkins this year become one of the better tandems in the league.
My last one, Baldy, is the big question last year was what's going on with Alvin Kamara? You could see him move it, and they said he was healthy, but if you watched him, something just wasn't right. Come to find out, he had a high ankle sprain, so he was banged up, and we know what that does to running backs. Do you expect him to come back to form? Because with the running backs, it's just so hard to know what's really going on.
Well, I mean, prior to that ankle injury, he was basically averaging a touchdown every game that he played. I mean, he was just a touchdown machine. Yeah. He was indefensible. I mean, nobody could cover him in the league. I mean, they drew through the two guys. He threw to Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. A lot of times they put them on the same weak side together and just let them run combination routes, smash routes, combination routes. And really, defenses couldn't be right. He has the best balance of any back in the league. And if your ankle, and look, there used to do surgeries on high ankle sprains, and it was torn ligaments, and they cast it. They don't do that stuff anymore. Guys play through it, but they're not healthy. They don't have the balance or the strength to push off it and break tackles. And that's what you saw from him. For much of the year last year, you didn't see him breaking through tackles and just running through and seeing tremendous balance. But I expect him to be back. He's still young. I don't think he's taken nearly enough hits, to really be beat up by any stretch. In fact, he doesn't take hard hits. He just avoids them. I expect Alvin Kamara to look like he did his first 2 years this coming season.
Ooh. I think that added with Sanders and Mike Tom, that has the potential to be really special. Last one, I'll get you out of here. As a rookie, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, kind of came on and, Von Bell got hurt. He was playing the nickel, and then he played, strong safety. He just kind of busted on the scene in terms of just eye-opening plays he would make on the defense, just as a fourth-round pick. What did you see from him as a rookie, and kind of what could you see his role being, kind of positionless football within the defense and Denton's defense?
He looked like the boss of the barn to me. Like, he threw his body around and hit everything that moved and showed up, and, whatever role they were asking him, I thought he was excellent in the nickel. I really did. I thought he's just built for it. I mean, he's built tough and he's strong. He tackles good. And, those players are, and Malcolm Jenkins is a good nickel player against certain players. Not every matchup is good for Malcolm right now. But, I thought he really showed. And I thought it was a good draft pick. And, typically a player makes, the biggest jump between his first and second year. Now, it's a pandemic year. You're just not getting all of, the stuff that you would be getting right now in that off season. So it's not the same for a lot of guys right now, but most guys make their biggest jump between the first and second year. I'm sure he watched every game. I'm sure he's, doing the position meetings right now with Peter Junta and, the whole group back there. So I expect Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to be a part of this secondary and be a big part of it. And I think it's going to be a good group all the way around, from the back end to the front end. I think it's going to be a good group.
Last one, not so much Saints related, but you're the only one that we talked to that I would have experience like this. Could you kind of explain how potentially unique or weird or awkward it may be for if there to be NFL games without fans, since you've played in the league in terms of like home field advantage and like all that, like how unique of a situation that for teams and players to come in?
Well, I mean, look, we all feed off the energy of the crowd. I mean, you come through the tunnels and, the pyrotechnics and the smoke and the whole group. I mean, it's, if they have to do it, I mean, you'll find out who really loves the game because, the great players just transform themselves and they just get themselves and they zone everything out and they just get themselves ready to play. But, I think one thing that a lot of teams have gone to is, especially in preseason now, is a lot of these scrimmages. And in some ways, these scrimmages, they're controlled to a large degree.
Right.
But that's probably going to be how the games are going to feel. So I'm sure, the coaches of the league, when, I don't know who the Saints are scrimmaging this summer, to be honest with you, I don't know. But I know like the Eagles and the Jets, I know the scrimmages that they have lined up. And so I'm sure the coaches are saying, look, if we don't have fans September 13th, this is what it's going to feel like. So get yourself going. Get yourself revved up. You got to, whatever you got to do. If you need ammonia caps up each nostril right now, whatever you got to do, like get yourself ready to play. And so you're not going to get, you may not get the fan base, to really be there for you. So you've got to figure it out yourself. And there's always on every team a group of self-starters. And there's some guys that are just followers and they're just, waiting for the crowd to pump them up, to get them. So you might not get that. You better figure out a way to do it yourself.
All right, Baldy, thank you so much for joining us. You can follow Baldy on Twitter at BaldyNFL. The Baldy breakdowns, when the Saints win and he breaks down a game, it feels like Christmas, but when they lose and he breaks down the game, we just skip those tweets for on that Monday. But he's an equal opportunist. He lets each team has it, each player has it. That's why we love him. We love the Baldy breakdowns. I hope everyone in your family and all the women who are moms in your family, Baldy had a great Mother's Day. And to all the mothers who may be listening to this, I hope all you ladies had a fantastic Mother's Day as well. Thanks so much for coming on, Baldy.
My pleasure, Adam Ryan. Look, we're all mama's boys to some degree,
Oh,
100%. Somebody fed us all those meals.
100%.
So we should never stop paying them back.
Always.
Great day. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it now.
Thank you, Baldy.
Thanks,
You have a good one.
Okay. See you guys.
See you.
Good job.
Denim is in demand at Plato's Closet in West Ashley and North Charleston. Get cash on the spot for everything denim. Bring in your trendy and classic styles of gently used name brand denim. Get paid for your denim shorts, skirts, jackets, jeans, and more. We're looking for denim that is blue, black, or a bold color, and jeans in styles like mom jeans, bootcut, baggy, flared, and ripped. We want everything denim. Sell your denim for cash at Plato's Closet today. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.